Hey everybody, this is Zach Lupiton from Dust Bowl Revival. Thank you again for joining us for Suede Home Fest 4. And I never thought we'd be presenting 4 separate music festivals online during lockdown. We should be playing music for you, but we can't, so I'm thanking you right now in advance for donating to all the artists and songwriters who are stuck at home like me. But now I'd like to bring you a very special tribute set honoring the fallen songwriters and artists who we lost in 2020. We will have songs by Townes Earle, John Prine, and Bill Withers, brought to you by Tim O'Brien, David Bromberg, Brian Dunn, Connor Vance and his wife Ari, and a special tune from Guy Davis. Then I will bring you a song by Adam Schlesinger of Fountains of Wayne, who we lost to COVID-19 early this year. This set pays homage to all the great artists we lost this year, like Kenny Rogers, Little Richard, Charlie Daniels, so many great ones. So please make sure you support the artists you love now. Grab a vinyl, send them a note of encouragement, and most of all, share their music with your friends and family. We need to stick together during this strange time, so thanks again for being part of our Suede Home Fest family. Stay safe, vote, and we'll see you on the trail.
Okay, so ready? Here's one from Bill Withers. Jan and I got to hang out with Bill Withers at the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame inductions. We actually rode in a limousine with him for about 5 minutes. It was fantastic. Here's one of his great songs, Grandma's Hands. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Church on Sunday morning, Grandma's hands played the tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, Billy, don't you run so fast. Might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in the grass. Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands mother. Grandma's hands used to ache sometimes and swell. Hey, Grandma's hands used to lift her face and tell her, she'd say, baby, Grandma understands that you really love that man. Put yourself in Jesus' hands. Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands used to hand me a piece of candy. Grandma's hands picked me up each time I fell. Grandma's hands, boys, they really came in handy. She'd say, Matty, don't you whip that boy. What you want a spanking for? He didn't drop no apple core, but I don't have Grandma anymore. When I get to heaven, I'll live for my Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands played the tambourine so well. Grandma's hands, boys, they really came in handy. Grandma's hands.
Okay, here's a tribute to the late, great Bill Withers. We lost him this year. All time hero. One of my favorites off of this record, he did, the record's called Adjustments. Your love is like a chunk of gold. Hard hard to get and are hard to hold. Like a rose that is soft to touch. It has thorns that hurt so much. Said, well and why, well and why, well and why must the same love make me laugh, make me cry? Think of your love as sitting on a mountain. Think of it being a great big rock. Think before you start to roll it down, because once you start it, you can't make it stop. No, no. I've given all that I have to give. If you don't want me, girl, I don't want to live. I say, well and why, well and why, well and why must the same love make me laugh, make me cry? Think of your love as sitting on a mountain. Think of it being a great big rock. Think before you start to roll it down, because once you start it, you can't make it stop. Can't make it stop, no. Why you wanna make me cry? The same love that made me laugh, made me cry.
My best friend lived in this house, and we played ball in the street after school. God knows how he's living now. I heard his mom lost the house and had to move. And sure, it's looking better these days. Well, it's hard to believe this ain't the way it was back in 1993. Those weren't better days, but they still meant something to me. When we was kids out in the street, there was a market on the corner, it was next to the car wash, and the lazy weeping willow across the street in the light, where the old men played dominoes on those hot summer days, sweating the wild Irish rose out in the shade. And from Wedgwood to Granny White, oh, Belmonte, all these songs was broken to sights and shapes. That was low-end living, back when life was cheap, when we was kids out in the streets. Now it's gone, blown on a lonely window. change. And now I feel like I miss it most, just 'cause I never thought that it could change. So I hear things are moving west these days. Same old cut and paste and just fill in the blanks. Standing here right now, though it brings a lot of pain, I smile when I think of yesterday. Back when life was easy, like a 1, 2, 3, when we was kids out in the street.
Working all day for a mean little man with a clip-on tie and a rub-on tan. He's got me running around the office like a dog around a track. But when I get back home, you're always there to rub my back. Hey, Julie, look what they're doing to me, trying to trip me up, trying to wear me down. Julie, I swear it's so hard to bear it. Well, I never make it through without you around. No, I never make it through without you around. Calls. I got a desk full of papers that mean nothing at all. Sometimes I catch myself just staring into space, counting down the hours till I get to see your face. Hey, Julie, look what they're doing to me, trying to trip me up, trying to wear me down. Julie, I swear it's so hard to bear it. Well, I never make it through without you around. No, I never make it through without you around. How could it come to be that you and I must be far away from each other every day? Yeah. Why must I spend my time building up my mind with facts and figures that never add up anyway? They never add up anyway. Working all day for a mean little guy with a bad toupee and a soup-stained tie. Got me running around the office like a gerbil on a wheel. Can't tell me what to do, he can't tell me what to feel. Hey, Julie, look what they're doing to me, trying to trip me up, trying to wear me down. Julie, I swear it's so hard to bear it, but I never make it through without you around. No, I never make it through without you around. No, I never make it through without you around. Rest in peace.
She don't like her eggs all runny. She thinks crossing her legs is funny. She looks down, who knows that money? She gets it on like an Easter bunny. She's my baby, I'm her honey. Never gonna let her go.
He ain't got laid in a month of Sundays. Caught him once and he was sniffing my undies. Ain't too sharp but he gets things done. Drinks his beer like it's oxygen. He's my baby, I'm his honey. Never gonna let him go. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite the noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes.
She thinks all my jokes are corny, or convict movies make her horny. She likes ketchup on her scrambled eggs, swears like a sailor when she shaves her legs. Takes a licking, keeps on picking, never gonna let her go.
He's got more balls than a big brass monkey, whacked out a weirdo and a love bug junkie. Sly as a fox, crazy as a loon, payday comes and he's a howling at the moon. He's my baby, don't mean maybe, never gonna let him go. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite the noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes.
That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day and the next you're down. Half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. Well, I know a woman got a lot to lose. Real good woman, just a little confused. She got muscles in her head, never has used. Think you own this half of the town. She might get a little drunk, get an itchy nose, come home and hit her husband with a rubber hose, then take him out to dinner and buy him new clothes. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day and the next you're down. Half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. Well, I was sitting in the bathtub counting my toes when the radiator broke and the water all froze. Stuck in the ice without any clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak. The sun through the window when the ice all broke. I got up and laughed and thought it was a joke. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day and the next you're down. Half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. Prine wrote this tune. There's only one thing wrong with it. That's all there is to it. I asked John, why don't you write some more verses? He said, why don't you write them? I won't tell you what I said. Well, a couple of things happened to me that make great verses, but I can't make them short enough to be verses. So I'll just tell you. Back in the days when I was playing in the village for nickels and dimes, one night some nice people came in and they gave everybody $20 tips. Then they invited us to play at a party they were having. And they offered us a pre-agreed sum of money. For us, that was big time. So the whole group of us took the train up to Scarsdale or someplace, and there was a car there to meet us. We were all trying to be cool. Look at this car! It's bigger than my apartment! Anyhow, we get to the party and we play our tunes. And the hostess was so sweet. She told us to go ahead and help ourselves to the same food that the guests were having. Now, you might not know this, but that's not usual. She said, go get a drink if you want. Well, one of the guys, I better not tell you his name. He felt a little bit guilty about caging drinks or asking for drinks, so he went around the room, and when he'd find a half-empty glass, he'd drink the rest of it. messed up. There was no way we were going to take him home on the train. And the hostess was so sweet. She said, he can stay here. So she put him in one of the spare bedrooms. It's a big house. And the room was yellow. He woke up the next morning in a yellow room. I mean, the sheets were yellow, pillowcases yellow, blanket yellow, ceiling yellow, walls yellow, desk yellow. Everything in the room was yellow, except for the bottle of black India ink he knocked over on his way to the bathroom in the middle of the night. There were black-handed footprints all over the place. He saw that stuff and he realized how sweet they'd been. He went out the window. He found his way to the train station, took the train back to New York City, and that was almost the end of it. But he didn't say anything about it until a couple of weeks went by, and then we were sitting down having a cup of coffee, and he told me he felt it was bad karma and didn't know what to do. I said, well, only one thing you have to do, you have to go back to the house and see the lady in the house and apologize, own up to it. He said, yes, you're right. So he took the train back up to wherever it was, found his way to the house, rang the doorbell. Someone answered the door, an employee, let him in, showed him into the living room, said, just make yourself comfortable and she'll be with you in a moment. And he's looking around at all this expensive stuff and he ain't going to touch nothing. So he sits down on the couch and hears a loud crunch. It was the Chihuahua. He killed him. Went out the door, back to the train, back to New York. Now that's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. Half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. That reminds me of another story. When I lived in New York City, I used to have a dog. It was a great dog. Not a Chihuahua, it was a big dog. It was a golden retriever. He got too old for this world. And he passed away. To tell you the truth, I didn't know what to do with his body. This is New York City. So I called up the ASPCA. Of course, they were in New Jersey. And I asked them what I should do with the dog's body. They said, bury it. And I said, how am I going to bury a dog in New York City? Well, you can bring him here. I said, to New Jersey? No, Niagara Falls. What do you think? They Jersey people. And they said, just drive out here and we'll take care of it. I said, what do you mean drive? I'm a New Yorker. Does the subway get there? No, but you take a trip, you can take a bus. Take a bus from Port Authority bus terminal. Okay. I said, wait a minute, how am I going to bring the dog? I'll put him in a box. You don't understand, this is a big dog. I don't have any boxes. Put him in an old suitcase or a trunk, whatever you got. So I put him in this old duffel bag, went down to Port Authority bus terminal. He told me what bus to take. But before I got on it, I realized I didn't know where to get off and which way to go afterwards. So I found a phone booth. Children, in those days, we had these little rooms, phone booths, And I So I got out of the phone booth and somebody had stolen the duffel bag. I'd give a lot of money to see the look on that junkie's face when he opened it. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. Half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round.
Cause then I'm going to get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, this old man is going to town. Yeah, when I get to heaven, I'm gonna take that wristwatch off my arm. What are you gonna do with time after you bought the farm? And then I'm gonna go find my mom and dad. And good old brother Doug, well, I bet him and cousin Jackie are still cutting up a rug. I wanna see all my mama's sisters, 'cause that's where all the love starts. I miss them all like crazy. Bless their little hearts. And I always will remember these words my daddy said. He said, "Buddy, when you're dead, you're a dead peckerhead." I hope to prove him wrong. That is, when I get to heaven. 'Cause I'm gonna have a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, this old man is going to town. Yeah, this old man is going to town. Do-do-do, do-do-do,